like lessons had occurred and created these points of structure in your life. So, you can, depends on how much you want your self to be recognizing the 3D experience. And so there's at play like the both aspects of being in meditation space and the temporary state of the 3D, and essentially like creating your own reality out of mixing the two, or the interplay of the two, I would say. All right. Then we have from the Tarot of Sexual Magic the Two of Cups, Two of Chalices, and like each text, has different meanings, so it's interesting to read them. All right, so the Two of Chalices is tenderness, attraction, affection, and collaboration in this deck. So from the picture, there's like the motivation of like a passionate motivation to combine energies to create something that is at its beginning stages, and yeah, that when I look at the card, it's like the wonderful openness and the unstructuredness of the creation process, like where it's just the passion and involvement, like actually spending time together, actually listening to each other, being sensitive to each other's energies. It creates its own kind of universe, and trusting that process and not needing to know what are we building. You don't need to get into that. But if you feel that you have a connection that has its own meaning, that's enough. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm picking up on some of the viewers like going through a lot of like personal turmoil, and if you can just for a moment lay all those questions and the details aside and just to like get the vibe of the information that's coming through, you might find that it helps like replace a suffering template, and that you do have like a million and one choices of how to proceed with like whatever comes up in your life, and this is another option, and I hope that you can enjoy the process of your own creation like within your life, so that you can feel empowered, that it's not just a matter of everybody dumping things into your lap, that we play like an active role in everything that goes on, and we have like little micro moments of decision making where we can make like very profound changes in things by using like a different kind of template than we're accustomed to or taught to. That is hopefully a result of your connection with source energy and like like a higher intelligence than we can conceive of, but that when we interact with it, like it can come down through us and like do a wonderful reprogramming that distances us from suffering. So, okay, so we also have the Six of Cups. So let's see. Like I know the basic meanings of these, but like today I'm particularly interested in seeing exactly what they're saying. Memories, past, simplicity, nostalgia, and serenity. So, particularly of interest to me today is the aspect of serenity because it goes well with this and this. And also, to some extent, the Two of Cups, where it's like the a trusting energy in the beginning stages. Okay. So, this is often like someone coming back into your life and with a childlike gesture of tenderness and affection and friendship and loyalty. Um, yeah, again, I'm picking up on people that are going through a lot. I mean, you wouldn't be looking at videos if you didn't want to have some connection with healing and everything. So, okay, I'm just gonna take a moment and just try to help you clear that like veil of suffering that is a bit blocking from you from seeing things. So just a sec. Okay, so hopefully you can get like a glimpse of a different kind of energy that will help you progress past like a immediate sense of suffering. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is next, and it's surveillance, strength, adversary, defense, solidity, and boundary. When I look at the card, like his manner of dress, a bit like well, it seems like a mishmash of cultures to me, but in essence, like a jester type figure, or it could be like the fool after many trials, So even though there's like a sense of disillusionment or like exhaustion from trying all these different passionate efforts, um, okay, wait a second. Right. I was like sidetracked by the number 8, but I'm back. Um, yeah, strength and adversity, defense, solidity, and boundary. Okay. So, like, it kind of, if you complicate your life with a lot of details, you're going to feel the need to create boundaries. You're going to need to feel like you have to be the source of strength in your life. But it's easy for all these wands to just like fall back and you're just left with yourself and get like your connection with source. So I would say like the advice I'm feeling right now is like try not to complicate your life with like trying to do everything at once and don't lose your fun spirit by burdening yourself with like the thoughts and needs of everybody around you that is basically creating like a artificial self-imposed like prison. So sometimes like it may seem antisocial uh, from other people's perspective if they're dependent on your energy and life force and stuff to step away from people's needs and will and desires and stuff. But like if it's sucking the life out of you, it's not really doing anybody any good. So, my wish for this joker would be just to put down the the wants, or like keep maybe keep your one wand and walk away from this group of people who are like overwhelming you. Uh, not in terms of like never seeing them again, whatever, but like if you create like a space for you to live, have your own thoughts, make your own decisions. Like you're aware that they exist, but like you're not having to like constantly interface or help or like uh, give up your energy towards their passions, and that you need to take the time to recharge, like in this card, take time to rest and recharge and rebalance so that you do have the strength and to like come together to create something new with someone that you love, that you like perhaps were not making the appropriate gestures of friendship and respect and like elegant kind of tenderness. Get down to like instead of crowding your life, like get down to who's important, what's important, like what do I actually want to make. It's actually going to be like more simple than you thought, and that requires some self-discipline to see like the things that were you thought were like terrible, the swords coming at you that actually uh, created the space for you to understand what to heal next, or like that you discovered some power within yourself that you're welcoming back into your uh, skill set, which we are born perfect and we have all the strengths and superpowers from our previous experiences, and it's not so much like people teaching us how to do these things, it's remembering. And if you think of remembering like a puzzle that fell apart, like you're putting it back together and rediscovering your strengths and abilities, and so that you're not seeing yourself in a sense of lack, but that you're actually always quite capable, and it's just a matter of seeing it in the proper way, of regaining what is already yours. Okay, so we have like really hoping that these things are working as a microphone. Like I'm a little bit like technically savvy, but I haven't done enough of these videos to know what I'm doing with these ear things. Hopefully they're not just like earrings at this point. They're functional. All right. So what do we got here? Four of Wands. And the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups, a hand holds three stems of water lilies. Two water lily flowers are shown, which bend over the two center cups, pouring water into them. These two cups are not yet filled. The other cups remain empty and abandoned. At the top and bottom are the symbols for Saturn and Pisces. This card represents the first decan of Pisces ruled by Saturn, thus Saturn and Pisces. Angels Vavalia and Yelahia. Sorry, my God, I need a new prescription for these. Meanings: temporary success, things thrown aside as soon as gained, nothing of lasting value, indolence in success, journey from place to place, searching for riches and instability. I like this meaning because sometimes people say Eight of Cups is just like smell you later kind of thing, but it doesn't really address, yeah, that kind of indolent, like sort of snotty aspect of like putting a lot of effort into something and just going like, whatever, you know. That it's not necessarily like a good thing to walk away from these 8 cups. Yeah, because like, sometimes, in life, we can make, like, great efforts towards building something, pouring, like, everything of yourself into them, and then at some point, just losing faith and, just throwing the whole thing out in a hot second, so but you're so close to the 10, you know, you're just 2 away, and the only things missing are the 2 cups of the individuals making something or falling in love, and, uh, it's just a sense of impatience and lack of respect for yourself and the other that, like, things could actually come to pass, so I think it just like in this card, it's like, chill out, stop freaking out, and focus on what you know, the beauty that you wish to create in earnest with someone. And then we have the 4 of Wands. These things aren't actually working, then I'm gonna do more like a tech rehearsal so I don't have to mention it. Okay. Right, 4 of Wands. The meanings are perfection, rest after labor, completion, subtlety, cleverness, beauty, romance, mirth, success. Okay, I'm just gonna have a look at these. This Hermetic Tarot deck is so, like, heavy duty, like, the images. Like, I like them, but it's just like, oh my god. Um, alright, I'll just I'll tell you how I'm picking up on this. It might be interesting to read, like, the whole thing, maybe. No, it's just basically describing the picture. Alright. So what I'm seeing is, like, these 2 sort of aging hands that I feel exhausted, that are trying to grasp at, like, this sort of the central issue, and that you have all the like, a lot of elements surrounding this aspect that are on one hand oh my god, oh my god. It's like reverb being myself. Okay, so there's, like, flames all around it, and then what seems to be, like, either a sense of abundance or overwhelm, kinda similar to the 8 of Wands where you just like, there's all this stuff, like, piling up that's weighing down your hands, and you're trying to grasp at this sort of, like, um, feminine, like, creator space, which can appear like absence or darkness, but it's actually, like, the space in which something can be created, I feel here. Uh, so you have, like, the 2 wands, like, that are down here, like, making fire that is feeding the fire of, you know, your own seems like mastery and free will. Uh, and so you wouldn't have this 4 of Wands fire unless these guys were making this fire on the bottom. which is sort of a similar but like lighter version of this, where these two people are kind of creating this bottom fire that is then feeding this more spiritual union contract fire that's activating it. Normally, like Four of Wands, it's like the marriage stability card. Um, but it sure looks different in this deck, right? Like, okay. Um, oh, that's interesting too. I didn't see these guys. So there's like another pair of wands together in flames above. So it's almost like it's, it's weird. There's a lot going on. In terms of like counting up the number of like wand type things in this card, there's many, like too many. Um, okay, just be patient with me for a second. Well, again, it's like I feel like it's just like people who are more knowledgeable about cards will have their own ideas about it, but uh, I feel like it's again echoing this void creation energy because that was like feminine symbol, and that like uh, so yeah, there's like an interplay of like male and female energies that are creating this coming together to create something bigger that is real and solid and magical, and that you couldn't have created this alone is what I feel like, especially that's like a like a type of alchemy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, there's no real way to like recap this. Sometimes with videos I watch, like I'll watch it from the middle to the end, but I'm not gonna like make it easy on you by summing up here. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and the best miniature sum up I can do, I guess, is don't be a brat, and don't be discouraged. Don't lose your spark, and you're at if you can remain calm and respectful, you can create with someone or some other energy something that is your own, magic, your own creation, and that's yeah. So stay calm, and also like there's a certain uh, like if this guy knew that it was his time to shine, he might not be bumming out so hard, right? So remember that it's on you to remember how sparkly and fantastic you are. And one good way to do that is to become good at meditation and to not take your uh, the slings and arrows like as a negative. They're learning tools and can actually like create structure for your creation, which just like on a personal anecdote level, when I went to art school, I think working with what are considered your mistakes, or that's your true power and your voice. your mistakes are your voice, and your not to, like, on purpose, like, do bad stuff or anything, but, like, your limitations are your expression, and, uh, so it's good to take the time to find out, like, well, what are my limitations, and how is that affecting my expression, and how not just how would I like to express myself, but, like, how do I feel that my union with the source energy wants me to express my energy, because it might not be, like, a obvious thing that's out there that you can choose from a menu. It's, you're your own wonderful, unique person, and we all need your, contribution, and only you and your connection with source, uh, can bring that to us.